talk about what it was that you were most fearful of and how you were able to overcome that to step into, the Bachelor bubble and be the Bachelorette.
I mean, that's one of the first questions I asked the producer when he called me. I was like, okay, but how is this going to work? Like, the guys clearly knew, like, Clare was announced with the men knowing what they were walking into. Mm-hmm. And then guys were recasted knowing that Clare was going to be the Bachelorette. I mean, if I'm one of those guys, you bet your ass I'm going to see, like, who's going to be there and, like, see if I'm even attracted to her or what's going to happen. So I was like, hold on a second, but all these guys are there for her. And, like, how much have they actually grown? I know how big a one-on-one is. I know how quickly feelings develop. And so, yeah, I was fearful that they all had her in mind. She was more their type than me being their type, whatever that may be.
Which they corrected you on real quick.
They did.
Real quick. Just to let you know.
I think Ivan fell in love with you the moment you walked into the room. Like, he could not stop talking about, like, she's more my speed and she's this and that. I'm like, okay, Ivan's in love.
Brendan too. So Brendan was like, you're my vibe, you're my energy. And I was like, well damn. What the fuck were y'all doing with Clare? You know what I mean? I feel bad for Clare in that instance, but yeah.
But it's just funny. Like, that's a huge fear. I mean, think about it, and I just walked in like, okay, well, I'm going to have the conversation. It was really, really, really important to me. And there was a little bit more of a conversation that happened than what they showed. But I was like, honestly, please give me the opportunity. I might not be the one you came here for, but just give me a chance. Like, I'm going to give every single one of you a chance. And if it's not me, that's totally fine. Like, I wanted them to know, like, door's right there. And I'm not stopping you because I don't want you to string me along, because I'm not going to do that to you. So yeah, it was something I had to constantly work with in my mind and with my producer, even just to be like, but they're here for me, right? Because you don't see what they're saying behind the scenes. You know what I mean? So you just kind of have to, like, trust it.
Which I want to ask, because before you came in, I mean, the moment when Chris Harrison was like, okay, guys, you have 24 hours basically to make up your mind if you want to stay or go. And we saw most of the men being like, now we finally have a chance. Like, we want to stay and do this, because they felt like they didn't have that fighting chance before. There were a couple guys like Blake and Jason who were struggling more because they obviously, like, had developed some sort of feeling and relationship for Clare. So in talking to them that night, I mean, because we saw, especially night one, we saw most of them reassure you, like, we're here for you. Like, we want this opportunity. We want to get to know you just like you're giving us this opportunity to get to know us. And so did you ever feel like they were being totally honest, or that they were kind of just around to stick around to do the show for all the things that could come from it? Or did you feel like they were very open and honest? And then now, I guess, knowing what you went through in the entire season and watching it back now and watching what they were saying prior to you coming in, like, where's your head at with that? Like, how are you feeling in your heart about what they were telling you?
I think that one of the qualities that I have is, like, I'm really good at reading people. And I will say every single conversation I had with that night, on the first night with the guys, like, they were all so genuine. And every single guy, I mean, except for it was Jason and Blake that really had feelings invested in Clare. And they did share that with me that night. That they're like, honestly, like, I don't even, like, I know more about you than I know about Clare. Like, and this is not to talk bad about Clare, but it's just to show, like, where their headspace was. And they were just like, I know more about you. And, like, I actually feel like I'm having a good conversation, like something's going somewhere. And every single guy kind of kept saying that in their own words. So I know it wasn't something that was rehearsed collectively. So to hear that really reassured me. And for the guys that did have feelings, I was like, I want you to be in that. I want you to feel that, and I want you to figure it out.
I think that's
the case, and that's good.
I think it's so funny to watch the transition, and, people have been really hard on Clare, and then to see how the guys responded to you, it was like things work out the way they're supposed to, because to see so many men say that you were more their type, it made what Clare did even that more special, because she took a risk and trusted in what she did and made the best decision for her and dealt, and it's worked out. And then those guys had a new opportunity to meet someone that they were more interested in, and it worked. Like, it all worked. It's all part of God's greater plan.